Hey everyone, this is going to be the first game with the structure deck, the Obelisk Dervish deck. And in this hand, we see we have a strong opening in packs. We have a wins that we don't have obelisks for, so we want to trade that in. And then we have a decent curve of other minions, so we're just going to keep all of those. So right now, I'm just going to move forward and throw down a packs. Now, I've said before that you shouldn't put your battle pets in a position where they could hit a Lantern Fox against the Songhai. But in this particular case, I don't mind as much because we are going to overwhelm with the sheer number of minions. So having one of our minions Phoenix fight isn't that big of a deal. And we want to get the two dervishes summoned as quickly as possible. So here they actually play a Crimson Oculus, which is not a common card and is actually a little difficult to deal with because the pack summons two minions and pumps this up. So this became a 4/5, which is pretty high value. And if I summon any more minions, it will go to a 5/4 right now. So what I'm going to do here is just summon Falcius, and I'll be able to trade off, but I won't be able to buff my other minions or develop my obelisks, which is unfortunate, but I'll still have a decent board control, and I'll have a diagonal advantage on this mana tile because Reaver won't be able to move to it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to try to control the board. We actually got this mana tile by accident, and we can't really utilize it this turn while still killing the Oculus. So unfortunately we just kind of burned that, otherwise we would just have control of this one as well. So in this position, Reaver has to move towards us, and actually plays a Frostbone Naga, which is not a card you expect out of Reaver in many cases, and then just starts going aggressive on us. So in this position, I want to control the board. I want to just keep her minions off the board so she can't attack. She can't decide the attacks, especially since you're going to play obelisks. And if they can attack your obelisks, they don't take any damage in return. So that's just losing creatures for free, losing minions for free. So in this position, I probably want to kill her Frostbone Naga with my Falcius. That means I have to move away from this spot, because unfortunately this spot is the only place I can attack it from. If I could move through here, everything would be a lot easier. So I have two obelisks to play for 5 mana, or I could play one and summon an Iron Dervish, or I could play one and summon a Dunecaster. I have a lot of options. I don't want to use the Primus Fist because it's not going to help me trade this turn. I don't really want to use this because having just a 2/2 Wind Dervish is just going to hit her general. It's not going to hit anything else. One option is I could play the Fireblaze and then play this, and I would be able to get the 3/2 that could kill this. And that might be actually a better play than what I made. But instead I'm going to move the Falcius up, drop my general back, and play two obelisks. Which is going to put her in a position where she has to deal with an amount of value that... Oh, I actually messed this up. I assumed I had 5 mana because I was going to use the mana tile, and I wanted to place my Fireblaze further away. So instead of placing that first, I tried placing the Ethereal Obelisk first, and then I was in a position where I couldn't cast the second. So I made mistakes, and I just want everyone to show that it's possible to make mistakes and still do okay in this game. I'm not afraid of putting this next to her because her making 3 attacks on it is going to take forever, and put her in a position where the dervishes are still in a position to attack her and attack her minions. So I wasn't too afraid to put it next to her. She's going to use her Tiger to sort of just rush down my general. She's just trying to apply damage. I'm not sure that's a position she wants to be in, because you know, this is very much still a fight for board. She could take it back. I don't have a huge presence. So right now I'm just going to start playing more structures and using the Dunecaster to just make this one stick around as well as just kill the Lantern Fox. She's going to get just one Phoenix Fire, which is pretty much the best case scenario a lot of the times when you're fighting against the Lantern Fox. And I'm just going to try to surround her so she's limiting in her mobility and just attack her right in the face with both my 2/3 because of this ability. So in this case it was actually a strong play, as well as my general. Now, she's going aggressive on me, and I know that if I kill this Lantern Fox, she's going to get another Phoenix Fire. So, and now she has a Heartseeker. So this is a position where you want to think, you want to sit and think, okay, what are my options first of all? Look at where your Dervish is spawned. This one can't affect anything. That's unfortunate. No problem. And you want to see, okay, then is there a way that I have lethal? Because if this game goes on, if I'm forced to kill this right here, and maybe kill this with my general, I stop being in a position where I'm at 8 life, I know she has a Phoenix Fire in hand, her general can attack me, so I'm at effective 3 life, and it's not that hard for her to have another Phoenix Fire just from her deck, to have a minion that she can inner focus. There's a lot of ways I lose, so counting lethal here is very important. And as we talked about, this +2 attack isn't overly helpful here. +1 health isn't overly helpful here because I'd like to use some of the spaces. Fortunately, this is a 2-1 and will die. So let's count up. We have 2, 6, 10, 12. So if we look at our hand, this buffs, and this buffs. So we have a lot of options. So we're just going to start moving towards the Reaver, play buffs on our minions, and do, 13 damage pretty much, with just a couple obelisks and dervishes on the board. So this deck can close out quickly, which is a really good feature to have, because letting games drag on against a lot of decks, especially against Reaver, where she starts getting to the point where she has a ton of spells in hand and can cast a bunch of them in one turn, is very dangerous. So the ability just to close out, have a few, out of hand damage spells is really important. So we clean up that game pretty easily, and then we'll just move on to the next game.